All right, fam. Welcome back to the Franco and Friends YouTube channel. My name is Mark. On this channel, I share my experiences fathering a child on the autism spectrum. In today's video, we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to help you get your autistic child to take their supplements. So stick around. All right, fam, welcome back to the channel. Like I said in the intro, in today's video, we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to help you get your child to take their supplements. But before we do that, I just want to make one thing extremely clear, and that is that I am not a doctor or a medical professional, and nothing I say should be taken as medical or professional advice. All I'm doing is sharing our journey with you. So make sure you do your own research before changing or implementing any of the strategies discussed throughout any of my videos. All right, now before we dive into the tips and the tricks, I want to quickly go over my son's current supplement stack. And just to be clear, when I say supplement stack, I mean supplement regimen, or essentially a collection of different supplements taken together. So his current supplement stack is lithium orotate, not to be confused with prescription lithium carbonate. Two different things. Then we have methyl B12 and folate, vitamin D and K2, probiotics, magnesium L-threonate, and lastly, we have vitamin C. And the goal behind this supplement stack was really to curate something to help him with impulse control and mood stability, because those were two things that he was really struggling with. And before we began the supplement protocol, the notes that were getting sent home daily were like a roller coaster. One day was great, the next day was brutal. Then one day was great, and then it was getting to the point where even in the same day, he would have one good block and then a really tough block. So we really wanted to work on impulse control and mood stability. And let me tell you, he's been on this stack for about 10 days now. And honestly, I am really impressed. The notes that we've been getting daily have been very consistent with things like great day today. Franco was very productive, very social today. And one of the notes that really stuck out to me was one of the days on one of his trade-ins, rather than use his phone or opt for screen time, he wanted to walk around, find his friends, and socialize. So that is huge. And if you are the parent of an autistic child, you know how huge that is. So I'm really excited about this, and I will continue to update you guys on the progress of this supplement stack. All right. And then lastly, why am I making this video? And then I promise I will dive into the tips and the tricks. The reason I'm making this video is because truthfully, this is probably one of the most common questions that I get asked from parents of autistic children. It's, how do I get my child to take their supplements? Insomnia and constipation. Those are by far the most frequently asked questions. Generally speaking, when a parent reaches out to me, it will look something like this. They'll be really excited because they finally had the appointment with a functional medicine doctor. They'll say, you know, Mark, we finally had the appointment. We've been waiting for so long. We went, they recommended a ton of different supplements. We were excited. We bought all the supplements. We got them the day it came. We were super excited, and we couldn't get our child to take them. What do we do now? And later on in this video, I'm going to discuss why I do not agree with that protocol. And again, take it with a grain of salt because I'm not a doctor, but I am going to share with you why I disagree with that protocol. And the second reason that I'm making this video is because, as you know, supplements are powerful tools to have in our arsenal, especially for many of our autistic children who have very strict or limited diets. And as a result, they struggle with nutritional deficiencies. So supplements are very powerful for that, as well as they're great for insomnia, constipation, depression, anxiety, mitochondria, and I could go on and on, but I think that you get the point. All right, now let's dive right into tip number one, and that is knowing which form is best for your child. So generally speaking, we have 5 different forms. We have liquid, powder, gummies, capsules, and pills. Now, for my son, he can't swallow pills, so pills are off the table. And most of the time that leaves out capsules in certain situations, which I'll talk more about later. But generally, we opt for liquid and powder form. And the main reason is, which brings me right into tip number 2, and that is knowing the correct dosage for your child. So generally the way that it's done is you use your child's weight and you refer to the packaging details for dosing. But for many of our autistic children, they're very sensitive to supplements. So as a result, you want to start less than the recommended dosage and gradually build up. But the problem is if you get the supplement in pill form, you don't have that ability. You really only have the ability in whatever dosage it comes in, which is the main reason we choose for liquid or powder form, because that gives us the ability to really dial in on the correct dosage for our child and then gradually over a period of time build up to the dosage that is best for our child. And then tip number 3, begin with one supplement at a time. Remember earlier in the video when I talked about how I disagree with the protocol that most functional medicine doctors give out? And that protocol is giving your child all these different supplements all at once. Well, the reason that I disagree with that protocol is because, let's just say, right, hypothetically, right, that you're able to get your child to take all those different supplements at one time, which I would be surprised if you're able to do that, right? And we're going to talk about that after this. But let's just hypothetically say, yeah, you get your child to take all the different supplements. What happens if your child has a negative reaction? How are you going to know what supplement is causing what? And then on the other side, what happens if they have a positive reaction? You're going to have no idea what is causing what. So rather than start with all these different supplements all at the same time, what I recommend you do is you start with one supplement at a time. And over the course of a week, week and a half, 2 weeks, even better, you very, very gradually build up to the dosage that is best for your child. And throughout that process, you're going to document everything, how your child is reacting to the supplement, any adverse reactions, any positive reactions. And then at the end of that week, week and a half, or 2 weeks, whatever it is, right, you're going to either be adding another supplement or subtracting that supplement. In this way, you're going to know exactly how your child responds to each supplement. And the second reason that I disagree with that protocol is because it's going to be much more difficult to get your child to take 10 different supplements all at the same time. Many of our children are very sensitive to flavors and textures, okay? So even if you get all the supplements in liquid and powder form, all of them, right? Let's just say that. Many of our children are sensitive to flavors and textures. So it's going to be hard to get them to take all these different flavors at one time, especially if it's powder form and your child is sensitive to textures. They're going to sense all that powder. So again, what I recommend you do is you start less than the recommended dosage, because this gives you the ability to really hide the flavor. They're essentially not going to be able to taste the flavor because it's going to be such a little amount. And then very gradually over time, you build up the dosage that is best for your child. So to recap, we want to figure out which form is best for our child. We want to start lower than the recommended dosage, and we want to start with one supplement at a time. And then a couple final tips. If you're using fish oil, you want to keep the fish oil separate for a period of time until you know your child is used to it and will drink it. And the reason being is because fish oil will change the texture of the liquid. It'll make it like an oily texture. And then lastly, if you're really struggling with getting your child to take their supplements, you may want to look into rewards. Use rewards as motivation. I know some parents disagree with this, but the way that I share it with parents is, think about it like this. Would you be going to work if you weren't getting paid? The odds are probably not. So even we use motivations as adults. So guys, I hope those tips and tricks help you to get your child to take their supplements. And before I let you go, I want to share with you the Franco and Friends Autism Academy, because if you're anything like me, which you probably are because you're watching this video, you've probably tried all the traditional autism therapies out there, but you just aren't satisfied. You know that your child has so much more potential inside of them. You just need to figure out how to pull it out of them. But with all the misinformation out there, you feel lost, confused, and overwhelmed. And listen, I get it, because I did too. And that's why I invite you to check out the Franco and Friends Autism Academy risk-free. We have over 10 different courses that will help you feel confident in supporting your autistic child. We have courses on biomedical treatments, potty training programs, sleep courses, constipation protocols. We have holiday resources, and we go live once a week to build a strong community. So you can click the link below this video and check out the Franco and Friends Autism Academy risk-free for 7 days. All you have to lose is progress.